let's talking.
Now I can see the stream though.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting through all that whole thing. All right.
Yeah, that took a bit.
This is Granblue Radio number 403. Um, we are in a waiting room for Flash Gala, but we missed a bunch of time because I was in Japan, you were in Europe.
I'm
We
gonna be in
just
Japan next week.
I'm gonna be in Japan I'm gonna be in LA next week, but that's very different in terms of what I can and can't do. How long are you in there for Hotchpotch again?
I'm only there for until Tuesday, so I come back within a week.
Okay, short trip. Okay. But yeah, like this is the time of year in GBF where there's a billion freaking banners on the homepage. So there's a lot of stuff that we missed, and so let's get cracking on it. Shall we, DJ?
Yeah, let's go in order. So you actually listed as out of order.
Yeah, chronological order, the things would be the new character releases first, right?
Yes.
So, first up, we have Tsukuyomi, because I can actually look her up right now. I cannot look at Grand UL in game, uh, so I have to go to the wiki page for that. So, let's go to included items and look up Tsukuyomi first. Um,
Anyways, who likes Zosimos? Do you like Zosimos?
I
This
don't
character
know.
likes Zosimos.
All right, so where's the crest stuff? It's the illuminating umbra, right? So,
And Descending Dusk.
all right. So, whenever an ally casts a skill that grants an Oblivion crest, so that's different from Zosimos because Zosimos' stuff gives a crest after multiple other people's skills, and it's not direct. It's a trigger. So, it's any ally casts any skill that directly gives them or other people an Oblivion crest, right?
Correct, because it needs to grant a crest.
Okay. So then you get a heal. You get
So
a
1k heal, you get 10 meter,
mhm.
and raises night view up to by 1 up to 7. What does night view do? Night view gives you, let's see here, perpetuity attack, defense, CA damage up, CA damage cap up, and special CA damage cap up because we need to hit another thing on top of this.
Well, there are actually not necessarily that many characters in Dark who marry together CA and skill, because there's a lot of normal in skill is the way that you're sort of encouraged to play. So this is the one that like tries to get that together. So it was like we were talking about with Indala, where like Indala is CA and skill, although Indala is also Toxicosis and doesn't really do Oblivion Crest stuff. But that's the
Nope.
the style. Anyway, go ahead.
Also, it's only to herself.
Yeah.
And you get up to, when you get to 7, 35% perpetuity attack, 70 defense, 70% CA damage up, and 35% cap up, and 35% special cap up.
Those are pretty significant numbers. Um, and even though the number is higher than 5, any ally casting any skill that grants any number of characters an Oblivion Crest gets to 7 really, really fast, if you actually care.
All right, let's look at characters that give Oblivion Crest. Lobelia, okay, next. Summer
Magisa,
Magisa, who also skill. I'm pretty sure she also resets her buttons, if I remember correctly. So she
she
gives
does.
two. She gives 4 in one turn.
Hmm.
Manimal does it on
Is
2 buttons.
selfish, but it's still two of them. And like I said, we said it's it doesn't matter how many people get the Oblivion Crest. It just matters that people get the crest as a direct result of the skill.
And then Warlock Minded Diver.
And also, herself, she has exactly one of these things.
Yeah, on a 3 turn cooldown.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
really fast, actually.
yeah. Night View gets up to 7 real fast. Interestingly, she is now the first one also who gives meter gain based on Oblivion crests. So once again, trying to marry together CA and skill.
20% is pretty good, actually. So,
Yeah, once you get to 5, getting passive 20% gain, like um, you know, that's good for characters who actually want to CA. Um, Other things that make her also marry CA together. Here's a super long cooldown, um, Beacon in the Night, which
You get
it's
cheated out on CAs.
yeah. So it's refresh, which is whatever. 5 turns, multi attack, uh,
100% DA, 50% TA.
uh, like 10% uplift. I'm assuming.
Correct. And then
Which
on your second cast, 5k shield and dispel cancel.
yeah. So then with the uplift and her passive under the cover of night, it's actually 12 every turn. Um, you know, pretty solid. And then yeah, you said that when she actually CAs, so she once again heals everybody. She removes a debuff, and that Beacon in the Night cooldown goes down by one of its 12 turns. So it goes 5 out of 12 to 5 out of 11. So reasonably, it's like what 5 out of 9 under most cases, maybe less.
Probably less.
Yeah.
I would guess 5 out of 9 if you're not just CA looping.
hmm And then we've got ourselves her descending desk, as you mentioned. So she gets 30% meter on a 3-turn cooldown, and she casts it twice once her night view is 7.
Well, 30% meter plus another 10.
Yeah, so 33
Pl-
meter,
and
66 meter.
plus
Yeah,
Oblivion Crest.
you're right. So basically, like, at minimum every 2 to 3 turns, she CAs again. So yeah, 5 out of 9, 5 out of 8 for Beacon of the Night sounds pretty reasonable as uptime.
I think it was she had 7. Hold on. It's 40 plus another 20, and you do it twice.
Yeah,
She could probably self-sustain herself in a CA loop.
yeah. And then the last thing that we get, she gets Moonlight Blessing to all allies, which is the CA supplement, armor, and a debuff duration reduction.
Just add it in a turn. There's no special requirements. It just happens.
Yeah, and it's not undispellable. And the like, let's see, the requirement is Night View 7, which, as we saw, is just very easy to get to.
You might get this in turn 1.
Yeah, if you care, you can get it on turn 1 if you want. Um, and so this is basically like it's 3 different things that she's marrying together. It's survival because she's got 1, 2, 3 heals.
She has
Uh,
3 heal nodes, by the way.
yeah. She has debuff reduction. She has debuff removal. She has meter, and then yeah, so it like meter buffing, and then the thing that she doesn't buff is skill damage, which everybody else is basically meant to give because it's a
That's literally everyone else's
yeah
abilities in
if
Dark.
yeah it's like crest team. All right, they all do crest stuff and do skill stuff. She doesn't, but she supports them by having them CA again. So in terms of design, like I like where this is going, you know,
She's
like
really. I actually think this is a really strong defensive unit. I'm really surprised.
yeah. And they marked her as heel, and in general, I'm pretty happy with this. Like, this is a permanent unit because a bunch of the other sustained dark units are limited, where it's like Yukata Delafi was one of the sort of the big ones.
Very, but she's not really good at that.
Yeah, I mean, Fediel's been just sitting on dark defensive teams by default just because she's one of the only ones who does
Passive
it.
defense up.
Yeah,
If you're in V2 is even better because you can just cheat out her cooldowns.
right. But outside of V2, Fediel was kind of lacking a little bit, and so this is where a character like Tsukuyomi can really shine. Um, when we talk about this kind of character, especially so, this is something that I haven't translated yet, but in Famitsu magazine, they have an interview with the director and producer, and Famitsu directly asks them, it's like, "Hey, what are you gonna be doing about the fact that characters that don't dispel are just dead in the current design of Unite and Fight late days?" And they're like, "Yeah, we understand that, and we're gonna start diversifying requirements. So it's not
So we'll
just going
see
to be the
that
Spellfest.
later.
Yeah. So, hopefully a character like this will have a strong use case in the kind of long fight she's designed for, right? Like if a character like Tsukiyomi is good, then I think GBF is in a good place.
If she's not good, then I think there's something wrong. Also,
Yeah, exactly. That's both things. Um, so anyway, anything else to say about Tsukiyomi?
no, she's pretty. I like the design.
Yeah. All right.
Also, I can heal, remove a debuff, and also still do damage in this stupid CA. Please go back and fix those other characters that don't. Are you looking up the wiki right now?
Yeah, I'm going on to Wiki right now for UL because of the fact that you cannot look her up in game right now unless you already know the URL. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Grand UL.
Man,
So,
I landed. I saw the character, and I'm like, why is it fire? Why do we have another fire unit?
all right. So here's UL. She's one of those characters who has uh 3 stages, and so each of these stages has its own button, and each stage requires 6 either triple attacks from UL or uh, chain bursts.
Please
Um,
note that she only gives her it gives 30% triple attack. She has to find triple attack somewhere else.
mhm. All right, so we're going to start then with just looking at how to advance Crimson Dance, because that's the entire design, and that's basically the big old signpost that says she is for long fights. She is not for short ones. Um, so, step one, you press Crimson Dance Chain. During Crimson Dance Chain, every turn she heals and lowers debuff durations.
The heals 500. Debuff duration is what it says on its 10.
And so that sticks around, but it also counts up to the next time you can do this button again, which is Crimson Dance Yaku. So Crimson Dance Yaku still gives the heal, it still has the 1 turn cut, and then the
Skill
next
1 activates on normal attacks.
yes, and the turn that she presses that, she takes dodge all and she double strikes. So if you have enough multi attack on the double strike turn, then you know it's a bunch of damage. It does not notably it does not uh let's see give her any triple attack like we said. So
Nothing gives a triple attack except successor of the third, and even then.
yeah, um, and so like it is possible for her to biff on getting herself more uh like triple attacks. So, you want to help her with that a little bit. Although, it's not like the end of the world if she doesn't get triple attack both times. It's just, annoying.
I think it's in a world if you don't get triple attacks because this thing otherwise goes up too slow.
Hmm.
Like you have to actually build your grid to have at least some amount of triple attack for her.
Hmm. Oh, that's fair. And so,
Also, I like they took away the auto dodge in GB versus and put it in here.
they gave her a parry. It's a stance parry.
Yeah, but it used to be automatically parrying.
Yeah. All right. So then you've fulfilled the quest. You've done a combination of 12 chain bursts or UL triple attacks. And so here's your ultimate form. So here's Crimson Dance Gil. So she now has permanent chaser on herself. She supplements her crits, so now you need to have triple attack and crit because she doesn't give herself. Actually, she does. She does give herself crit. My bad. It's under Garba the Sovereign down here.
Yeah, it's all the crit's always there.
Yeah. Um, And so those are the things. So she's flurrying sometimes. She triple attacks. No,
Well,
she doesn't triple attack. She multi
the
attacks.
flare is only from skill 3.
Yeah, she
She gets a
multi-attacks.
20% chaser from
hmm
Gil.
And is it on the same as Overrider or no?
It's not a passive.
Okay, so it's the effect of a buff. Okay. All right.
However, Wiki does not say which where it's stacking, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
assume special.
Right. All right. So those are your conditions. So what do we get on the way there? So the thing that we get is so here's Fox Flame Familiars. Normally 7 turn cooldown. She'll cast it every turn once she's in second dance. It is a dispel. It gives
Fool.
it gives Fox Flame. It gives
Self-sustains Fox Flame, especially after normal attacking.
yeah.
Please note that Fox Flame can miss
Mm,
because it's not a billion percent base accuracy. It's a local debuff that has accuracy.
and she has no debuff success on her nodes here. I see. She has skill cap and triple attack. The
Well,
triple
she uses
attack is
triple attack.
yeah, the triple attack is very helpful. Like getting
The dodge is not
15%.
needed. Nothing triggers off dodge.
Yeah. So she's got 15% down here if you want to give it to her from her precious EMP dots.
Oh yeah, and then the last thing is the one thing that guarantees hits is Percival.
Mm,
You need to have this to work with Percival, otherwise why are you here?
right. The singed right here. But yeah, so
She doesn't go off Singed. Percival does.
one of the annoying things about other versions of UL is when Fox Flame has downtime, you're like, oh, I'm missing a bunch of stuff. That's sad. And so, having more opportunities to keep Fox Flame up is nice. And because it's a 4 turn local, works well with Frau even in the back line. Frau in the front line makes it last even longer,
But
so,
you don't need it because it auto casts.
right. It autocasts as long as it doesn't miss, yeah. Um, Also, third form, she gets CA reactivate from here, from her CA, which is, you know, good. There,
Yeah, she gets the stacking fire defense down didn't even need to be there to be honest.
mm-hmm.
Soul Bindle is all right. The problem is that
Is it dispellable?
well, yes.
Okay.
But also not only that is that she only flurries like every so often. She doesn't cheat out her flurry button.
Mm-hmm. But, um, so one of the sticking points that I've had in playing hard mode fire is that the there are two characters who are very good, but they have a very annoying time trying to fulfill um, the CA omen requirements. So having a CA reactivator in this slot is very nice to have. It's very helpful. Um, like Fenny, I think can do it as well, but still, you know, having
If any
options.
reactivates,
I believe she does on one of her turns. Let me make sure. Because, let's see here. Enigma Blaze. That's instant CA standby. That's different. Wait, where did it go?
because the number one I think of is Noah.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, maybe it's just that she gives herself full meter. Yeah. So she doesn't do it.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I use Noah to make up for Zeta's lack of ability to CA.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I just remove Zeta because her lack of ability to CA hurts me a lot sometimes.
hmm And so, yeah, like this is one of those that is very, very tuned to beat omens. She has multiple CAs. She can, um, like with this flurry and attack out of turn, she can do the grand Sandalphon thing of just taking care of an entire hit count omen by herself. It'll also dispel when she does it, so she can do things like the 2 dispel omens by herself. Um,
Kind of. Uh, Only kind of.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk in there.
Yeah. But that was something that also like Zeta was around to do with multiple dispels via her abilities. But ev-
Also, we also ignored the fact that her passives are to the party.
mhm. So,
A 10% seraphic amp to the party, pretty good.
mhm.
Dodge rate in high level, really good.
Yeah.
And then you get really sad when Foxlane misses.
That is fair. But yeah, this is once again like in any situation where you have a very long fight ahead of you, and by very long I mean like at least 10 to 12 turns, then this character is going to shine, right? It's
Yeah, I'll see
like
you in a 9 fight if they still have the current way it is.
mhm, where she passively gives you debuff duration down. Um
The dodge will make it so that sometimes I just don't have this debuff on me.
mhm.
Because you need a lot of the knife fight fights is you need to take the damage in order to receive the debuff.
Yeah. So, anyway, very 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 good stuff here.
You want to talk about her weapon?
Yeah, let's talk about the weapon.
Anyways, Mjolnir died for this.
So the Sennen Goji, let's see. That's right. I don't have it in the journal. I don't have this character yet, so I need to
Back
go
to the
back
wiki.
to the wiki. So Inferno's Impalement here. This is the new one, right? Yeah.
That's a very new skill.
And Swashbuckler is also pretty new, although um, it is familiar compared to this. So here's Inferno's Impalement. Fire allies ignore a big percentage of foes' defense, small boost to attack.
At 15 skill level
Hmm.
is 2% defense that's ignored.
Yeah. And so I was talking to Umikin on this about this on the last episode when you were gone, and we were talking about how like, oh yeah, so this is going to be for two situations. It's going to be for OTKs, and it's going to be for super high defense, like hard stuff. And after we did that, we saw the video of how this thing, if you have enough of them, was it two or is it three of them that you need for the
For which
maximum? For the hit Orolojaya button and kill EX plus?
the one I watched only had one.
Only one? Okay.
Because the other thing is that because Swashbuckler is the exact same as an Opus,
Yeah. Um,
because it's actually the exact same caps. The difference is that you don't need the 280 in order to do this.
yeah, because it's a boost to the specs when it's 280 rather than you need to have
You
it to
need to
turn it
have
on.
it.
Hmm. Uh, so they did Cygames did somewhat address this by saying after this Unite and Fight, yeah, we're probably updating EX Plus some more. That's not a direct thing, but once again, it's sort of seeing why they're designing this way, maybe, but still. Um, so we should expect more HP from EX Plus to get even more meat to try and even further reduce the amount of fights that we do for early Unite and Fight. That's at least
Uh,
what they've said.
do we know what the defense down cap is?
Uh,
It's not on the wiki.
I do not know. I have not seen the Japanese science on this yet, or any science on it yet. Because you said it was 2% per at skill level 1, or was it
At skill level 15.
15? It was 2%.
And then, but it's also something that can be boosted, is the
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Right. Yeah, I have not seen the numbers on that yet, so we would have to once again go through. All right. Um, So
Yeah, I hate this weapon. I hate this weapon with passion.
okay.
It's I don't like that it's an opus skill, but better.
Yeah, because the last time they did this was when they started giving glory to more weapons. And so the thing was that that one was sort of a catch-up kind of thing, right? Let's see here. What gives glory? It was shoot. I don't remember what has glory on it, but I'm sure people understand what I'm talking about. So let's see. Glory skill weapons.
Yeah, it's really funny because like before
There
it
it
used to
is.
just be super separate.
No, these are all opuses. Sky Ace. That's right. Sky Ace has glory on it. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, now that we have more information on this, it's going to have a bigger effect than I originally expected for this weapon.
Yeah, because of like how the last content cycle was with grand weapons,
Hmm.
I expect one of them's going to be the chain burst one, and then the chain burst one, and the other one's going to be the normal attack one,
Hmm.
and then they separate those into two elements each.
Yeah, I don't feel good about having the normal attack one for more of these grands, but yeah,
Yep, well, we'll see.
yeah.
Uh, also the thing is that this is a katana, not a sword, and so things get harder in your grid because grids.
Yeah, Lord of
We're
Flames has
we're
very strict
we are
requirements.
already strict.
Yeah. Well, Lord of Flames is yeah, let's see here. Lord of Flames is a sword, Ixaba is a katana, and then after that you're like, I guess this is a one of is
and
how it's
and
going to go.
well, you don't want three of these.
Yeah.
Your special cap already caps out at two of these, and it caps out at one of these if you have an opus that
Mhm.
has a skill cap because it's the same cap.
Mhm. All right. Um so those were the two characters. So after that, we got from the event, we got a style change first, and then we got a character. So first we talk about the style change, which was under Romance of the Divine Generals that's underway, updated. So the style swap for Super Cidala, which everybody was hoping for, and after their uncap. Um, so here's Super Cidala, and their design intent here. It's like Super Cidala is capable of supporting and dishing out big damage via skills at battle start. However, if she works up a sweat, then Peach Scent becomes too strong. She'll feel embarrassed, so make sure to finish foes off as quickly as possible. And so the way that they set it up and tried to introduce it to people, the problem, of course, is that no one reads that thing except like us. Uh, is all right. Like, all right. So Sadala in normal form, those two are queens of long fights. They're like basically unmatched at long fight solos, and you see them along with like Alex and Ayada and characters
Mhm.
like that. And so with the style change, they're like, okay, let's make them short fight characters. So here's the swap.
I have a lot to say about this one.
I know that you hate just peach colored date uh, because it says here when Peach Scent is 5, they lose all of their defense, they can't use skills anymore, and they stop multi attacking.
Now, please go over to your EMPs real quick.
The EMPs remain the same as before, right? It's the same thing that we had with Ingve.
Correct.
Yeah,
And her special EMP doesn't exist for this character for this version.
right, because it's all going to be triple attack anyway, right? Because of
She either triple attacks or she single
single
attacks.
attacks.
There's no in between.
Yeah, that was a sticking point with Ingve as well, where a bunch of his like EMPs were for his old version, and they didn't update them for a style change because, well, it's still the same character.
Except it's not because you can't skin this.
Yeah, this was. I'm still not sure about what's going on in the back end that makes it different from the Ingve one. They originally said, "Oh yeah, you can use this as an outfit," and then within like a day or two, they changed it so that you can't. Well, they changed what they said, but once again, people see this once, and yeah. All right, so with those two really bad things as the coloration of this, where it's like you get 4 skills to hit, and then they stop being a character. So that is your time limit on them being useful.
And skill 2 exists for I have no clue really.
Hmm. So skill 2 here is a full party dispel cancel, a mirror image, and a dodge all.
Which goes against skill 1, which is tank and counter.
Hmm. It's only counter, right? It's not dodge and counter. It's only
If
tank
it
and
was
counter.
dodge and counter, I had less complaints.
Right. So here's luck goes up. When they have luck goes up, it's 2 turns of bonus earth damage here. They get 2 turns of double strike, and then yeah, 2 turns of full force counter, and because they have amplified normal attack damage, I believe those counters are also amplified.
Why is it full force? There's only 2 counters.
If they get hit once, then they'll swing back twice. That's why.
But it's also over a duration of 2 turns.
Hmm. And then luck goes down. Luck goes down here. It's a 5 turn debuff, so it's big nuke. It's 5 turns of defense down, 5 turns of damage taken supplemented, and then a version of the Christmas chicken effect. So every time that you've done 20,220,000 Earth normal attack damage, then the enemy takes bonus plane damage, and they get the damage taken amplified put on them.
It's a 30% damage taken amplified on top of the 25% defense and 30k supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Lasts for a turn. It lasts up to 22 times.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Even just normally.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing is that if you do CA with them, then they get an assassin bonus, sharp boost to attack.
Uh, so even if you have luck goes up and you CA, you'll still get benefits of the assassin, and then it carries over to the next turn
It's a full
because
turn of sharp
it's a
boost.
it's a it's a full turn and a half because it counts this turn as well after you
Mm-hmm.
applied it.
Okay. But so they're more likely to be targeted, which luck goes up cares about. That's they like that. They have low charge bar gain, which is how low is it? Like minus 30 as usual, or is it different?
No, it's the usual 35.
35. Okay. They always triple attack, and they have amplified normal attacks.
15% is pretty good.
Hmm. Um, so let's just say that you've turned off Bringer of Prosperity, which,
You wish you should have.
yeah, then they get basically 9 turns of being really, really good attackers. And then as soon as you hit
Yes.
that 10th turn or ninth turn where you have them hit a second pair of buttons, then they turn off. So that's your time limit. Is this worth it?
If you are ending the fight within 7 turns, yes.
Hmm.
If you are not,
Then you'd
because
rather, yeah.
I've
Go ahead.
done my testing
Hmm.
as a someone who does not own Hunting, by the
Hmm.
way,
That's fine.
because we have to establish this part.
Right.
Normal Cidala outpaces this character at turn 8.
Hmm. So You want to be there in between like what 2 and 7 turns. Do you happen to have a character like let's see here, other short fight Earth characters, not counting Transcended Eternal? Uh,
Transcendent Eternal could last 50 turns, to be
yeah,
honest.
right. Um, we've got ourselves like Bunny does well in short fights.
Cool, don't own that character.
Yeah, I'm just looking at other like short fight specialists. We've got ourselves the Dantes are both very good at short fights. Um, Folia basically only gets pulled out for single turn fights right now, in order to give the entire team like 1 turn of assassin essentially. It's like trying to think of others like super short turn characters. Oh yeah, Uriel gets pulled out for very short fights as well.
Like Uriel can also last long, is also the other thing.
Yeah, that's true. But the main reason he gets
So
pulled out
someone
for short,
says
yeah,
Pangy, and I'm like, I guess Pangy.
yeah. But Uriel, basically the reason he gets pulled out for like 1 to 2 turns only is because his skills have forever as a cooldown. So it's not like he's made for short fights. It's just that he just doesn't get many bites of the apple. But triple attack, double strike for that 1 turn sure does feel good, especially when he's got the amplify damage taken up here.
And you get the amplified damage of Cidala for next turn,
Hmm.
which your Earth Crash 3 lasts for 3 turns minimum.
Yeah. So it's like So you've got like Uriel, Super Cidala, and say like either Olivia or you've killed someone to get Lobelia up front to hit Warbringer a few times, which
I'm like, uh, one of these characters is like always here because they're just super good regardless.
are you gonna just point me over to Olivia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that character is every fight.
Hmm. Where are you? There you are. They already have their own double strike, but then again, she doesn't care. She just gives them an extra nuke at the end.
It's a 10 turn cooldown, so these characters might be dead afterwards. I guess I don't know. The one thing I hate is like, cool, they have increased hostility and they'll have 70% defense down. They still probably won't die when you want them to do,
I'm just thinking
which is
about
fitting because of they're the tigers.
yeah. I'm just looking at Lobelia again, going. It's like the fact that Lobelia is there makes them from a 7 turn like thing to like a 4 turn thing. That sounds fun to me actually. Anyway,
But that's very manual at that point because Lobelia's skill 2 never hits.
so the normal thing, the standard thing to do right now with Lobelia at the moment is you kill someone to bring him up front, and you turn off skill 1, so he hits Warbringer 2 turns in a row for skill 2. Um, and cutting those 3 turns off of their cooldowns means that immediately upon the buff ending for luck goes up, then they cast it again. So once again, it means that since you hit it a second time, then they turn themselves off on turn 5 instead of on turn like 9.
Wait, you don't need to use it twice because they're a 5 turn cooldown. Does the skill 2 reduce it by 3?
It does, but the thing is, then he hits it again because of you start with
But
since you're keeping him back.
they'll be at 1 when he hits
Yeah,
it
right.
already.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
they
You're
start at
right.
5, they lose 3 plus 1, so
Yeah,
on turn 2 they're at 1 already.
you're right. So it just yeah, I'd have to once again test out those timings to see how it works. But anyway, so um, but yeah, the question once again becomes is like, is all of that worth it?
You decide because
Yeah.
normal attack team fronting uh We've seen the combo video.
Hmm. Yeah, like they have
It's really funny with with the what's it called when you do the solo fights, but with the super boost.
Ascendant Prayer.
Yeah, when the center pair is really funny because that thing comboed off super hard.
Yeah, the Tomo where you just see a bunch of like tigers flying around for a good
Yeah, for
like
over a minute.
yeah. But um yeah, so the step one, is it worth it? Maybe. Does it feel good?
It feels good for the first 8 turns.
Okay. Because that's the thing is that once again, anything that goes past those number of turns, then that's when you go back to their default style, and that's where they are, queens. They do after you get them ramped up, then they do everything.
They'll debuff a billion times. They'll have a billion buffs on them. Double CA because that's on skill 2.
Hmm.
They can dodge all with a substitute. I find it funny they attach the assassin to the CA. It's
Hmm.
effectively doing the same thing of taking a turn off
Hmm.
because we are trying to amp normal attacks while we CAing. I guess just for
It
this.
in order to turn on the assassin buff, yeah. But yeah, so to a lot of people, the does it feel good is no, and you
I
know,
like the character's animations. The problem is then I have to play this character when I like the base tiger's like utility better.
hmm. And once again, like the window in which they are good, um, like there's a lot of characters who have the same window of being like short fight um burst characters. Like there is no shortage of those in Earth, and given that like they've recently updated Threo to be even better at it than she was before, they've like her pop off turn, if you've transcended her, is turn 6, and when she hits that turn 6, she does like triple the damage of any other character in the game.
Oh yeah, because of skill 4.
Yeah, where she ground zeros, she has triple strike, she triple attacks, she attacks out of a turn, she's amplified. Like that turn is insane, and that feels good because then you continue to have a character after that.
This character stops existing is once you hit Peach 5,
Yeah.
and could be a detriment because she doesn't die sometimes.
Hmm.
Because plus 10 hostility can only go so far. I'm looking at you, Negi.
I'm I'm looking at freaking Kolulu and all these things where it's like I would like you to die so that I can continue my on element solo. Anyway, um,
Don't talk about my trash daughter like that. We found her in the trash.
she's too good at surviving. I need her to fall over.
She has an iron body.
She's got a head made of rocks. But anyway,
I
but
like this character who is just a head of rocks and doesn't have an iron body,
yeah,
but
but
still won't die.
yeah. So that's essentially what happened with this style change. People were excited for the style change, and even though they are exactly good at the thing that Cygames tells you that they are good at, like it doesn't necessarily feel good to use them in that way. Um,
I just want them to use the CA animation
yeah, the part where they can't be used uh as an
as a
outfit for the
skin.
regular
Yeah,
one is I wonder like what in the code spaghetti happened. Does Super Cidala count as a single character that they will someday release and Cidala counts as a dual character? I don't know. I really don't.
the other thing is what happens when this event ends.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Then see you in 2 to 3 years when it becomes a side story. Just like how Full Metal Man 7, I think it is I believe still not in side stories for Ingve, is it?
I don't remember.
Let's take a look. It would be under Exploring the Skies, and it would be pretty late. I don't think Full Metal Man 7 is in here. Yeah. So if you have Ingve, but weren't around when he got his style change, then you still don't have access to it
And this is
because
on a limited character.
yeah, because they do have like they learned from the whole thing with the uncap items, but
It took them a while. It actually definitely did took them a while for that one.
mhm. But it's
It's
like
also really funny that you could have the skill 4 of a character and not have their skill 3. Yeah, remember that?
mhm. Yeah, weapon force can blade of chivalry tutorial. Oh, this is Uesis, that's right. Prism of Duty is Zoe. Proof of Love. Falsehood on the Autumn Gray. Ko, right? Did Ko get his from an event? I think so.
I don't remember.
So anyway, the point is that they've done this for uncap items, but haven't done it for style changes yet. Because it's not an item, it's based on
All,
story unlock.
all two of them.
Yeah. So, um, with that said, that basically like those are the complaints that we have about this. Um,
Yeah, I just realized her amp, her normal attack amp is 15%. Normal Cidala is 20,
mhm,
but had to unlock requirements.
right. You actually have to get there or roll it on the first hit. Uh,
No, it's on the Hive of the Tiger.
wait, wait. Let me make sure of this. I thought it was on the buff one where you had to roll it.
Nope.
I've missed it. Okay, it's on High of the Tiger. Okay, so you have to do it after losing a turn. Got it. No, you don't have to lose a turn. You have
No.
to get to stripes. That's right. You have to hit
Yeah,
him. You have to hit the six buttons.
yeah, as MC.
Right. That's right. All right. Anything more to say about the Super Cidala style change?
Nope.
Okay. We've we've established the complaints. We said that like they do what they were designed to do. Whether or not that is enjoyable to do is up to individual taste. But I really, really wish that we could just change their poses because while I do enjoy the wearable pajamas or the wearable sleeping
Can I
bags,
not have a stupid meme outfit, please?
yeah, there it is. That's the wearable pajamas. Yeah, right. As of right now, I'm using their 5 star, and it's fine. But Super Cidala would be cool. I definitely feel like it would be cool to be able to use that. It was what people wanted in the first place. All right. The last thing that Romance of the Divine Generals gave us is uh, event character.
Melee or bow.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about Bo because of the CA part and also New Year's theming. So here's Joy, Precious Bellchild. Um, Joy has the Hyper Klesha Buster, which is a one-time remove 108 buffs and also remove 108 debuffs. And you have to get Gong to 3, and at that,
And then you
and
can get really sad when you run into the spell cancel on the enemy.
oh, that's sad. But yeah, to get
Yeah, you
Gong,
imagine 108 of the dispel cancel.
yeah. But the way to get Gong is either to have someone die and have Joy come into the front line, which instantly gives Joy 3
New
Gong.
year, new me.
Yep.
Mark two.
Or if you do 36 or more hits to a target in one turn, you get one of them.
Oh, that's easy in wind. Yeah,
It is.
Grimnir exists.
Yeah, not just that, but also like Neon exists. A bunch of characters who just uh, like poop out skill hits. Um, but yeah,
It didn't need to be a one-time bonus wind damage though.
but
This
yeah,
this character doesn't attack out turn.
hmm yeah. Gain effects in order based on Gong level. You get attack and defense, multi attacks, and then damage supplement.
The
Um,
multi-attack is guaranteed DA
mhm.
Damage element is 10k. Okay,
Yeah,
this character does not do that much. Instances of attack by themselves.
yeah. It's like here's 5 hits that becomes 10 hits, and it's a stackable wind defense with a short cooldown, even shorter by hitting Happy New Year and ending that cooldown. And then here's substitute, tank encounter, armor, guts, and then
I was
it
only
becomes three.
substitute.
Yeah, it's regular substitute.
I see.
It's not sub all. And so, yeah, basically this character kind of exists as sort of an emergency button when somebody dies and you just need to get rid of as many debuffs and buffs as possible before this character. The problem is that the character that's left behind is
Can't
only
die.
okay.
He doesn't. And if you try and kill this character off, he doesn't really die.
Yeah, as opposed to the original Joy who only has 108 hit points.
And dies to game mechanics.
Yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, not much to say. Like this character has one purpose: the remove 108 buffs when coming either timing the turn like 4 or so, Gong level 3, or having someone die and coming up to front. There's worse situations for a free character, but I know people were disappointed by this beat coming after Super Cidala.
Also the issue is that it's wind, and I'm like, wind doesn't have problems despelling.
Yeah, Astariola exists. Like, sorry,
And sorry, oh, get rid of that spell cancel immediately.
yeah. And then after Astariola exists, you have things like Transcend Neon, who will also dispel once a turn now with her new debuff, her shiny, shiny new debuff. So anyway, yeah, that's about it to talk about with Joy, right?
That's it. The character doesn't do much other than that.
Yeah, it's for people who are Joy enjoyers, and I know a few of them. But coming from an anniversary event, I know some people were very disappointed with that coming from that compared to a 4 star from Beloved by the Skies or
You could
whatever.
have had a new character from the events.
Hmm.
I'll see you in a couple hours, maybe.
Yeah, we'll
Hopefully.
see.
Anyways,
So
we don't want them.
yeah, another thing that came out of the Famitsu interview actually is that there was a question about 12 divine generals. Like, you've made it through all 12 years of the Zodiac. What's next? And the answer from the producer and director is, we're 12 years was a really long time. We're not going to plan for another 12 years. We have other groups in mind and like series and things like that, but the plan is not to take 12 years to do all of it. And so
The fact that these characters don't actually regress by year either is weird. Because
they
literally the only character that progresses by year is Joy because he grew up a year,
Meg,
and Meg.
the Dragon Knights have aged up a year or two also in their storyline. But yeah,
But we've been here for 12 years.
yeah, it is what it is. Street Fighter, like, um, that's the example they lean on, or like a bunch of fighting games are just like, yeah, the characters haven't aged up. We're just gonna have to live with that. Um, but yeah. So anyway, um, that's the new character releases until 5 hours from now,
Soon.
soon. So see you on
5 hours of this
Thursday.
recording.
Yeah. All right.
Not Thursday. Can't do Thursday.
Right. We're gonna adjust days. That's right.